Guess what? I am going to be interviewing Amanda Owen. Yes, Amanda Owen, the one who has the wonderful farm, the wonderful ponies, who I'm very jealous of. Very successful woman, wonderful. I'm going to be interviewing. I've got so many questions lined up, so let's go meet her and give her an interview. Well, hello and welcome, Amanda. How exciting is this?
It is very exciting. Honestly, this is I'm literally broaching new grounds. I've come for 2 hours from the very edge of North Yorkshire, and I'm here at Rydale Auction.
Indeed you are. So, for starters, how is the farm?
So far so good. It's been a very testing time because of course the weather. It's the same old thing. We're a bit obsessed with the weather. We've sheared the sheep, so that's all good.
Oh,
but it's been a bit sort of catchy, so we haven't got all our cropping, we haven't got all our hay yet. So.
Oh, okay then.
But I do feel a bit bad because today it's not exactly a hay day, but I do feel a bit guilty now that I should be back at home.
Well, when we've been travelling up, we see loads of them, all bailing,
bailing
and stuff,
up, yeah.
We actually saw this field and there was just loads of bales just absolutely everywhere, like a field on field on field. So how do you do yours? I mean, I don't know, I know a bit about farm, but not too much. How do you do yours?
We're on the farm, because we're an upland farm, because we're a hill farm, we only grow grass. So grass is where it's at. So we try to make hay. So we're very traditional. So no use of fertilizers, no use of herbicides, pesticides. It's all one cut and one cut of grass to hopefully make that lovely meadow hay. At the moment it's a sea of flowers. We start on yellows, and at the moment we're in the blue and purple phase. It looks glorious, but the problem is, of course, the weather isn't letting us make the hay. We need some sunshine for a few days. So yes, it's been a bit testing. We'll get there. We always do.
So the fact that you don't use those chemicals, does that really change your grass then?
Absolutely. It makes it sweeter, it makes it better, but it also means you don't get as much of it. And in a year like this, that can be quite problematic because we've had a very dry spring. So we had a good lambing time. The animals have all done really well, but of course you always have to be looking ahead and looking forward as to what's going on the next season. And of course, as we head into winter, we need the insurance policy of having all that hay in the barn. And at the moment, we haven't got it. And I think that's going to be something that's predominantly the sort of story of this year. It's the same everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, farming it is obviously a very difficult thing. You ever get a break? Because obviously you're constantly working.
This is it. This is the break. As you can see, the hands always tell the story, don't they? I was like, I've got to tidy myself up. I feel like I've got to wear lots of different hats. So, the children are at home, so I've got all the children at home. It's pretty much, it's action-packed at the moment. There's a lot going on, a lot to contend with, but yeah, people say, what's a typical day? There isn't such a thing as a typical day. It's just, it's chaos. But I figure that's everybody. That's why people enjoy the books and watching the television programme. It's relatable. Things don't always go right.
And I noticed on your Instagram you said about some flags got stolen.
Yes.
That was horrible, was that?
It was actually. I mean, rural crime, it's the thing, isn't it? And when you think rural crime, you always think about it being sort of like your motorbikes and your sort of farm machinery.
You literally got it inside the ground, laid there.
Yep, laid there for hundreds of years.
I know.
There's a lot of history, a lot of heritage in our area. So to go to some sheep pens that have stood there for centuries and to think, oh, goodness me, someone's reversed into the wall. Yeah. We wall, it's what we do, you're always sort of making do and mend, but to go and see that someone has actually taken the time and effort to go and prize up the floor and take them, whether they had a job for them or whether they were up for sale, we don't know, we never will know, they won't come back.
You never find them again?
No.
I'm really sorry about
that. It's one of those things, it happens, but in a way, it's just, I don't know, it just gets to you a little bit, because it's part of where people come to these beautiful areas, isn't it? To look at the surroundings, look at the countryside, and when you see somebody blatantly do that.
And the thing is, old things, there's only so much you can have, they're constantly going, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Old things are going.
Well, it's kind of the gradual erosion, I suppose, of the countryside and everything changing, and not always for the better. You try your very best.
Well, like you say, farming's so hard because it is so many jobs to do, and then when you get that, it's like you don't exactly need that, do you?
It isn't a monetary value. That's the thing. It isn't a monetary value. It's the fact that, for us personally, yesterday the children, we don't particularly head off the farm so much, so they take their enjoyment on the farm. We've got horses, we've got the animals, but they love their swimming. So to feel like you have the responsibility to be able to basically swim in your water and have clean water, that's good. and it's not something that we want to keep for ourselves. It's like to see holidaymakers and tourists and people stop their car and come and swim in the river. It gives you a sense of pride.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we're doing okay. People come and they snap the photograph and they're like, oh, this is beautiful. And when something like that happens, I don't know. It's hard not to sort of take it to heart a bit and see it as a little bit personal, you know. So, but I mean, there you go. It's happened, and we will remedy it. Maybe this time we might have to put some concrete down and stick them in. But there you go.
Oh, I am sorry to hear that.
No, it's all right. Nobody was hurt, but yes, I was a bit angry, shall we say?
Even. On a happier note, your ponies, your horses, I absolutely love them. I've seen them, you know, obviously before I met you today, I've seen them and I'm like, oh my god, they're so cute. How many do you have?
5.
Oh my.
5 at the moment. So yes, we've got coloured cobs, and they're great because they're the sort of like the mainstay. The children can ride them, adults can ride them, and yeah, people say, oh, so what discipline do you do? Did you dressage, show jumping? No, we do start, stop, fast, slow, and that'll do. And usually riding in well is usually a bit of string, that kind of riding. Yes, we've got all the gear, but no idea. We just use them as a mode of transport, and I feel like the horses have the best life.
I bet they do
too. They were out riding yesterday. One of them had lost a front shoe, so the ferry came out and put it back on again. But it's just, I don't know. You get on a farm, everybody assumes, of course, that it's like, you know, farm animal or pet. Farm animal, pet. There's actually quite a lot of middle ground there. You know, you have your farm animals that you have a fondness with and that you keep for a very long time. You know, we've got some very ancient cows and some very ancient horses and a few very ancient sheep. And like a bit like people, you have some that are favourites and some that absolutely are not your favourites. But that's how it goes, isn't it?
Like the people who stick flags.
Exactly. You have good sheep that make good mothers and you have the ones that absolutely don't and aren't. So you do sort of like certainly see some similarities there.
Yeah. Good. And so, what is your next like thing that's?
What's my next thing?
I know that's like.
Would you like next thing in like today or tomorrow or next
anything?
week?
I was just sort of thinking what's happening, you know,
Right,
show-wise.
Right, let's go.
And also, you're an author as well.
Huh?
You do write books.
Yeah, I do.
You know. Oh.
Yeah, do you know what? When you went author, I went. What? Because like.
How do you find time for that?
Can you not see my eyes? 1:30 last night.
Oh.
Up at 5 this morning. I don't need much sleep. Every so often I just have a good sleep. And then
Get your batteries back
yeah,
up.
exactly. We all work together. I also prioritise. So in other words, I am a big champion of outside doing things. I'm not a big champion of redecorating, hoovering, or in fact anything ironing wise, anything like. I'm a big champion of letting some standards slip, okay? Because if the kids are happy and everything's going on all right, I'm okay with having a messy house. Look, I've had a bit of a clear out today at the it won't make the slightest bit of difference, but there is never a day that goes by where there isn't a full itinerary. I don't quite know what is happening on the farm today. Yesterday we finished clipping the sheep, but yesterday we're moving some lambs about. We've got some more crop to make. We need to make some more hay. There's numerous gaps that need putting up. There's just a ton of stuff. We've also got the house build. We're filming for the programme, so.
Can you say anything about that? How that's going?
Oh my god, yeah, it's going good. I mean, it's an ongoing project. I guess the difficult part of it is that with farming, it's always been about diversification and what else you can do to sort of make a living. So obviously, hill farm, not very profitable, but also 9 children, definitely a strain on your finances and basically just yourself, innit? It's a strain. You know, you're pulled in a lot of different directions, should I say? And it is kind of quite difficult to come to terms with the fact that when it comes to values and what people want, you want to meet people's expectations. So when you're farming in a way that is kind to the environment, good with nature, and you're producing something that you have utter confidence in the lambs that you're producing to become food, basically. To feel that farming wise you struggle to make ends meet whilst you're doing that, but actually you can make more of a living by talking about it,
Yeah.
writing about it, showing it on television doesn't seem very fair. And that the irony of that isn't lost on me. There are a whole lot of farmers and people out in the countryside who are devoted to what they do, are good at what they do, and put their whole lives and souls into what they do, and still can be at the brunt of people saying, you know, you're bad for the environment, you're cruel, you're this, all kinds of things, and that's a heavy burden.
Yeah.
People talk about mental health and sort of looking after yourself and sort of being valued and how you keep yourself healthy physically and mentally. But the general picture that people get when they say come to our farm, they will drive down this, you know, beautiful road and they will see this chocolate box farm with flowers and the animals, and they'll go, oh my goodness, you are so lucky. And I say, I know I'm lucky, and this is wonderful. But what you don't see beneath the surface is the stresses and the strains that come with that. Because nobody wants to be, you know, hear the other side of it. Of course we're fortunate, of course we're devoted to what we do, and of course we love what we do. But it's a particularly tough time because there doesn't seem to be really, I don't know, a focus on what people really want. It seems like they want it all. They want, you know, they want the food, they want the environment, they want the countryside, they want all that, but they don't want to have to put their hand in their pocket. It's a difficult game to get into, and if we're not careful, the whole vision of what people think of the countryside and what they love is going to change, and whether we'll ever be able to get it back. So on that miserable note, huh? Sorry, I've just gone well.
No, it's fine. No, you talk about it.
No, but I mean that's kind of where we're at. You know, I've got 9 children. Would I encourage them to go into farming? Yes, but would I encourage them to do
childhood though? With what you do,
amazing childhood.
It must have been absolutely. I mean, I know it's still going on. Obviously, it's
yeah.
It's absolutely extraordinary.
Yeah,
You know.
it's hard though as well. You know, the point is though that you take the rough with the smooth. You've got the outside, you've got the horses, you've got the animals and all the rest of it. But you know, your McDonald's is going to be cold by the time you get it home. You when it comes to actually thinking about the practicalities, you say to your child, you know, oh, they want to do an after school club. God, really? Because that's a nightmare. You know, it comes with its hardships. You know, you definitely don't want to be getting sort of like really ill where we live, because chances are you're not going to get to the hospital. You know, it's like anything. It's a good place to live, and I feel absolutely blessed. But I also have to be careful that when I'm writing, when we're doing a television programme, that we don't sort of create a false representation of what it is, because it has its downside too. So you know, people generally are doing their best to bring up their kids and do whatever they do, and being a parent is the hardest thing ever anyway. So me going on a television programme and saying, oh goodness me, you know, this is what you should do, you want to let your kids run free, you want to do this, that is not what people want to hear, because that is not something that is achievable. It's not where I come from. You know, I'm first generation. I didn't come from that sort of background. So it's it's keeping it real and sort of keeping humble, keeping that humility, and realising when you're blessed and when you're lucky.
Well, I'm very blessed for you let me interview you.
No, well, thank you so much for being an ear. See, I spend my days talking to children and sheep and myself, and that is the root to madness, they say.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, and have a wonderful day. And
You as well. I'm sure you're going to catch up with some interesting people as well.
yes,
Thank you.
Good luck with Everything.
Good luck with everything. Just say,
Good luck.
just keep it vague. Just say everything. That'll
Good
do.
luck. Good luck.
And you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.